Surprisingly, we actually know some details about Episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus, which help us theorize about what it will look like. First of all, Gooseworks has revealed that Episode 3 will focus on Zub, but instead of only centering on her, another character will also share the spotlight. This makes sense because, even though we thought Episode 2 would introduce a new character, who turned out to be Gummy Goo, we still learned a lot about Pomni and her experiences in the digital circus. Perhaps Gooseworks implied that the next episode will focus on Zub, while still showing much about PNE, or maybe another character entirely. If I had to guess, I think the other character might be Gangle.
Also, I'm not Bubble. What's happening?
It's called improv, Pomni! The first rule of improv is to never pretend you're not Bubble!
What does this have to do?
Since she has had the least screen time in episodes 1 and 2 next to Zub. Additionally, Jax made an interesting comment about a figurine, or figurines, that Gangle has, using it to blackmail her. This might be explored further, and we might finally understand why she can't feel happiness for more than a few minutes, which Gooseworks mentioned would be covered in an episode. It would also make sense to see more of Zub, because based on episodes 1 and 2, it feels like Ragatha, Jax, and—
It's all new episode of the Amazing Digital Circus! The funny circus gang takes a trip to the deliciously delectable Candy Canyon Kingdom! Sounds like a real radiant riot!
Kinger will have their own episodes. We've already seen hints about their characters that I'm sure will be explored in more depth. Gooseworks confirmed episode 3 would be Zub's episode, but I'm curious about what else we'll learn about her. In episodes 1 and 2, she chose not to join the others on their adventures. Since Gooseworks mentioned that Zub will have more dialogue in upcoming episodes, she might actually participate—
And scene! It's gonna be a sickly sweet old time! I'll see you there!
I still don't really know anything about this episode, and I've been teleported to a meat freezer. Cool.
in future adventures. I hope we'll understand why she chose not to join the others initially. Maybe she's more of a loner who prefers to spend time alone rather than with others on adventures. In Episode 2, while the others were in the Candy Canyon Kingdom, Zub was preparing everything for Kane's funeral. This suggests that she values her alone time.
Sounds like a real radiant riot, right, Bubble?
Huh? Where am I?
What's wrong, Bubble? Why are you acting like you don't know who I am?
What? I asked where I was, not who you are. Also, I'm not Bubble. What's happening?
It's called
time, but still cares for everyone. Perhaps she wanted to prepare the funeral in Episode 1, but Kane forced her to join by having her kidnapped by the Gloink, which is why Ragatha said that Kane's funeral was postponed. Zub might prefer to stay back while the others go on adventures, showing mental strength and a sense of responsibility in preparing Kane's funeral, revealing a lot about her personality. In a scene where all the characters were reaching for Peony's hand as she was falling, we saw Zub's hand as well. Even though she and Peony weren't talking, Zub still grabbed Peony's hand, suggesting that she is kind of distant but still a friend Peony can count on. We will likely see more of this dynamic between the characters now that Peony realizes the importance of friendship inside the circus. Maybe Peony will be more open towards the others, especially Ragatha, who has been there for her through everything, even after Peony left her for dead twice. Now, Peony understands the value of friendship, even if Gummy Goo died right in front of her. Gummy Goo might return in Episode 3 because his death was sudden, and NPCs, being computer codes, can be rewritten. I think Gummy Goo was sent back to a developer room, and Kane can reuse him as an NPC for future adventures. The WackyWatch.com website changed to a photo of Gummy Goo's death, hinting at his possible return in Episode 3. Gooseworks expressed excitement about Episode 3 on Tumblr, which might mean Gummy Goo's comeback, as Gooseworks really liked him. In response to a question about whether The Amazing Digital Circus is a kids' show, Gooseworks suggested showing Episode 3 to clarify it isn't, indicating that Episode 3 will be shocking, perhaps deeper psychologically rather than explicit or stylistically different. Based on the season trailer, the next adventure might take place in a haunted mansion, potentially featuring Kinger and introducing 2 new NPCs, Martha Milenhall and her pet ghost dog. If Kane said the Candy Carrier adventure was 57 times more immersive than Episode 1's adventure, We can expect even more complex NPCs in Episode 3. However, it's also possible that Cain might create less complex NPCs to avoid the circus members getting too attached to them. Like Episodes 1 and 2, Episode 3 might see the group divided again. Based on how Episode 2 ended, I believe Peony will stick by Ragatha's side instead of being alone. We could see Zub and Gangle pair up and wander off, creating two parallel storylines. Alternatively, Zub might stay back in the tent or on the grounds with another character, possibly Peony, who might take a rest day after the previous adventures. Zub could show Peony around the circus, revealing secrets and discussing the abstracted characters and their histories. Regarding the adventure itself, Cain probably sends the circus members away while staying back in the circus. We might finally see what Cain does when the members are not there. In Episode 1, we saw Cain having dinner with mannequins, doing something random before his wacky watch went off, prompting him to save Peony. In Episode 2, we didn't see what he was doing, and he hurriedly shoved everyone through the portal, possibly because he had something else to do. Maybe we'll see Cain's activities in future episodes, learning how he creates adventures and environments. I'm looking forward to learning more about Zub. Initially, I thought she didn't like anyone, but Episode 2 showed she just values her alone time while still caring for everyone. Hopefully, she even cares for Jax, despite his meanness, because the only way to win anyone over is through love. Let me know what you think Episode 3 will be about in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and click on this video here. Additionally, in Episode 3, we might delve deeper into the Haunted Mansion adventure, which could provide a more eerie and immersive experience compared to previous episodes. If Kinger is indeed a focus, we might learn more about his background and his interactions with the new NPCs, Martha Millenhall and her ghost dog. The Haunted Mansion setting offers a rich environment for exploring psychological themes, possibly uncovering hidden fears or unresolved issues among the circus members. Given that Gooseworks hinted at the psychological depth of Episode 3, we might see the characters confront more profound aspects of their existence within the digital circus. Themes of fear, isolation, and the quest for meaning in a seemingly endless loop could be explored more intensively. This would align with the show's trajectory of gradually peeling back the layers of its characters' psyches and the digital world they inhabit. Moreover, if Zub and Gangle pair up, their dynamic could provide interesting insights into their characters. Zub's preference for solitude and Gangle's limited screen time so far set the stage for a compelling interaction, potentially revealing new facets of their personalities. Their partnership could also highlight different coping mechanisms within the circus, offering a contrast to the more social characters like Peony and Ragatha. Another exciting possibility is seeing the circus members interact with more sophisticated NPCs. If Cain continues to upgrade the NPCs, the circus members might face increasingly complex and emotionally engaging scenarios. This could blur the lines between their digital reality and the programmed characters, raising questions about consciousness and emotion.